All right, folks, so it's our Wednesday update video, what's going on and stuff like that. And I'm with Jimmy here, Paul Bates. Anyway, appreciate it. I wanted to send all my love to you guys, especially you guys on the thanks there. I think Leslie this week. There may be some more, but that's all I have to date right now. So then I'll get caught up on that on the next video. But anyway, we thank you so much and appreciate it. Today, what I want to talk about on this Wednesday video is what Jimmy did and how he got here. Why is he on this boat with me, and in his own words. And then we'll talk to him and see what his experience was like, because at the end of the day, it's a delivery. It's not a pleasure cruise.
That's right, yeah.
And I think he found that out, and maybe even the hard way, but I'll let him explain it to you. Anyway, what was the first thing you did? Watching YouTube videos?
Yes.
Okay.
Watching your YouTube channel, thinking about boats, called you, talked to you about boats, and even came down and visited you once at Homeport.
Right.
And then through that relationship, you got me onto the boat with Jim Corcoran.
Yeah, and then you also left a message and comments down below.
Yeah.
And then you called me and said, "Hey, Paul, I really, if you can get me on a boat." And then I said,
"That's right.
I need someone of our other YouTube subscribers wanted help." And so I said, "Can you go help Jimmy?" And you volunteered to go do that.
That's right. Yeah.
So completely volunteered his time. There was no payment for that, but I think Jim paid for your expenses, right?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty typical that you'll get your expenses covered so that it doesn't cost you any money.
Fed me well.
Yeah, and you feeding you and everything like that. Okay, so then after that, and deep down in the back of my mind, I have a few other YouTubers that wanted to, that I had Harold lined up for this, but Harold hurt his foot, so he wasn't able to make the trip. And then I had another one, but it was too quick for him. And then I asked you, I said, "Jimmy, would you go on? This is a little bit of a paying gig. You're not going to, and you guys aren't going to make a fortune, but you did get paid a little bit. All your expenses are paid. You've got your plane ticket. You pick out all your gas paid for, your Uber rides, and you made $100 a day. I mean, so it was fun doing
vacation.
Yeah, right. I don't know if that we'll get into that here in a second. Anyway, so Jimmy shows up. Besides meeting him at Homeport, we've never been together on a boat or anything like that. And the first 2 days, we jump in the truck. First thing I did is I forgot my credit card to even pay for the groceries. So here we are in the store. You guys saw that in the first video, or you will see it in the first video. So Jimmy has to flip the bill for the groceries because I left my wallet in the boat. So then we get back to the boat, and I could tell fairly quickly that we're going to click OK. And we get in the boat and we head out. Everything's good the first day.
First 2 days.
Yeah, we go to Destin, had a beautiful anchorage.
That's right.
Picked up some ice. The refrigerator quit working, so we had to makeshift something.
One little thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then no hot water on the boat.
That was the second little thing.
Yeah, right. But everything else seemed to work really well. The boat's running really well.
Next day down to Panama, no problem.
Yeah, we get to Panama City the next day, which then I said, "Jimmy, I'm looking at this weather window. I have all of this information. And
it's a good time.
It's not a good time. This is not the perfect crossing, but as a delivery captain, it screams, 'Let's go.'"
Yeah.
All the margins are there for that delivery.
Yeah.
And so I say, let's just do it, get it over with. We could have stayed the night in Panama City, but I said, and so we get out of Panama City, and I'll say it's a bit sporty out there. Can we use that word?
Yeah.
I'll show you a little video, a clip of it, but it's we're taking a little spray over the bow.
It was rocking and rolling a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't too bad. Nothing that I haven't been in before, and but things.
And for me, it wasn't too bad at first when we were going out.
Yeah, but then
it didn't take too much
longer, and because I kept trying to explain to him that when you're in the ocean, it's not just the waves, it's the swell, and whatever that swell is, And, you know, I was like 2.5, which that's about the max I'll go in.
Yeah.
2.5, 2.7. And it was right there, it's right there at the margins that I will go in.
And then you had the wave heights.
On top of that, and then there was a little bit of wind, about 10, 12 knots of wind, which creates a even bigger swell and wave. So it was bigger than you probably would have liked to have seen. And I tried to pre-warn you and say that this is going to be real, and the ocean is completely different from the intercoastal.
And if I'd have been smart, I would have had some Dramamine.
Yeah, we should have. I got to put a pack of that in my thing, because then just because he's not acclimated. He doesn't, and he really doesn't. He's never done any offshore passages like that.
I honestly thought, I will not get seasick. Now in hindsight, that was completely foolish.
I've been seasick. Even this season, I've been seasick.
Yeah.
So everybody gets seasick. But he got the seasickness that was it was coming out everywhere, and the weather was pretty bad up there, because usually at nighttime I'll just run inside. I won't go outside the boat.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a rule that I have. But for that particular, just that little pass right there, I wanted to be outside.
One little rocky spot.
Yeah, and then but you were pretty sick. So now the next day, that night you slept. Now you did get up around 4:00 in the morning and were able to relieve me for about an hour and a half, which was incredible, because then it gave me that sleep, and it made my trip a lot nicer. And then that day you kept getting better and better, because the conditions started to calm down. The swell was starting to calm down.
Yeah.
But you've got to be thinking in your head, what did this? The one thing before, when we came out of Panama City and we're getting over close to Carabel, because I just run the outside from Panama City usually on a delivery, he says, we can, if you don't mind, Paul, we can just pull into Carabel, if this is too rough. And I go, Jimmy, these are all within the margins. We've done all the calculations. This is not supposed to get any worse. If it was, then we'd be going, but we wouldn't have come out in it. But I think it was shell shock to you that this isn't humanly possible, because you're sick too.
Yeah, this is normal.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is completely normal stuff that any delivery captain would go out here in this. There's no reason that we wouldn't keep going in this boat. But if you're too sick, I did say I will take you in.
Yeah.
But I said you will get over this as fast as it comes on you. It leaves you, but it was with you for a while. You were down in the bed.
Yeah.
And then I think that next day you kept getting better and better and better. And by the time we got to Kalidasi, you were ready to eat, and you were and you had a nice night's sleep.
And you were right. It did. It left quickly.
Yeah. Right. So, but I can tell him that, but he doesn't understand that. So now you've done the passage.
Yeah.
And then we had a beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous day from Kalidasi over here to Marina Jax.
Sure did.
But now, was it what you thought it was going to be? And did you get what you wanted out of this trip, or was it more than you thought? Or what would you say to somebody that calls me and says, hey, you're going to go on, just, they need to be prepared?
A few things, yeah. I definitely got everything out of this trip, and it was everything I thought it would be and more. Now, in some ways, on the flip side of the coin, it was not what I expected. Because,
the boat has to be moving.
That's right.
It's not a pleasure cruise.
It's not a pleasure cruise. You don't stop just because the weather might be a little bit rough.
Yeah, right.
But that's okay. Now acclimated. Now, it was, in my opinion, such a valuable experience.
Right, like that makes you just 10 times the boater, just by having that kind of experience and that exposure to, you'll know what to, and you won't take those numbers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you'll say, well, I'm only going to do 1.5s on the swell.
Yeah.
Or, even I like to even go like 0.9. Me and Jim used to joke. Jim Anderson, we would joke. What do we like? 1 to 2s, inches, not feet. You know what I'm saying? It was, but it's.
But it was also valuable about boats and boating and determining what kind of boat you might be interested in.
Yeah, correct. Because these, This boat didn't have autopilot.
And
Extremely difficult to hand steer.
yeah,
Very, very difficult in the swell to hand steer this boat.
right.
It really, really was. It's like, these are the worst handling. Now, where it does handle really well is with the twin screws docking. You know,
right.
it's really maneuverable with just the sticks. But when you got to throw the steering wheel in, because it's got these little bitty rudders on it.
Yeah.
Main ship, and then it doesn't have much of a keel like when you start driving my, because Jimmy's going to volunteer some time and we're going to do a little trade out where he's going to do some electrical work and some tuning of the antennas, and me and him are going to switch out the batteries and get them switched out and stuff like that. In exchange, I'm going to teach him how to slip Southern Estate, pull it in the slip and out of the slip, forward and backwards, in exchange for helping with that type of labor. But you'll see the difference in the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing, it doesn't just snap around like this boat, right. But it won't handle like if you had to hand steer. Southern Estate, she rides kind of like a sailboat. You know what I'm saying?
Tracks.
She'll track. Yeah, she'll track pretty true and straight, and you rarely touch the wheel. Yeah. But that's not true on a main ship, and there's a reason for that because it's a planing hull. Yeah. It's not a like my hull was never designed to plane. Yeah. And so they're just two different beasts altogether. And but I think it gave you a good like realization. Like, do you really But again, I am a huge component of autopilot. Do you know what outsteers an autopilot, Jimmy?
A human? Is that all?
No.
Oh.
Nothing outsteers nothing outsteers an autopilot.
Oh boy, I believe that.
And then even you throw an autopilot at me with a remote control, even 10 times better. Yeah. So it's just, I'm glad, and I love you guys to come out here, and anybody that wants to experience something like this. We're going to open Southern Estate up because we're getting it ready right now for the Keys in the Bahamas. Jimmy will be, he'll probably come out to the Keys and to the Bahamas, and he may even do the crossing with us. I don't know though.
Maybe not the crossing.
Yeah, maybe not the crossing. Anyway, Jimmy will join us for a week, probably in the Keys, and a week out in the Bahamas. That is for sure. We're going to also start taking crew on, like people like you. That's do you know what I'm saying? That
we want to do the same thing.
Same thing. And so you can get that experience out there, and you just can't buy it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to really get out there and do it, and the clock's ticking.
So sign up today.
Yeah, I'm 59 years old, and I don't feel rushed in life, but I feel like if I don't do this, it's not going to happen. I'm going to lose my cog skills. I'm not going to be able to do what I can do now. So I am committed right now to the Bahamas and the Keys. I think we're going to leave in February. And then the ultimate goal is to get the boat over to Costa Rica. What happens after that, I'm not going to make any more plans. And right now, the only plans I'm making is the Bahamas and is the Keys of the Bahamas, the Exumas, whatever. We're going to probably spend a little more time in the Bahamas than I originally planned on. But then the next goal, if the boat's running good and we feel like we can do it, I think we're going to make the hop and head over to Costa Rica. Because I've always in my entire life wanted to do the Panama Canal. Yeah. And I've also always wanted to do, not necessarily Costa Rica, but that's about as far as we can go because Southern Estate has its limitations because of fuel. We only carry 500 gallons of fuel, so we only have open ocean crossing. About the max we could do is 500 miles.
I see.
And if you go past that, like if we wanted to take Southern Estate to Alaska, you need to have some serious fuel capacity because technically you would go out. You would not try and take the coast down the peninsula there because it's way too rough. So you have to go out and then back over into California like that. And I can't remember the mileage on it, but I think it's 1,500 miles. And we just don't have the fuel range. I mean, we would need quite a bit of fuel. Okay. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah. Question: you are taking on crew for the Bahamas and
Yes, we will take
The
different
keys.
crews on people like yourself, people that you got to be a follower of the channel. You've got to leave your comments down below. Yeah, you can hit that thanks because that's always important. You know what I'm saying? And you got to, bring something to the table. And it could be money. It could be,
Some
but
skills.
yeah, the skills are always important. Like you could say, I'm an electrician. I'm a, do you know what I'm saying? I'm a painter,
A chef.
a chef. Yeah, right. Anything. Everybody has skills.
Yeah.
So what's the skill level? What are you bringing to the table? Because it's not a free ride, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna. Life doesn't just hand out free rides, right? And then and you have to have the respect for it and everything. You understand that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think most of the people that do follow the channel, they understand that.
We could have used a chef on this.
Oh yeah, yeah, we could have. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, you can leave comments down below and we'll get back to you as quickly as you can. Jimmy will watch the comments of this video and he will answer your questions on anything.
Absolutely.
Also, you can message me privately, and if you want to talk to Jimmy to really hear what his experience was like, because it wasn't all good. It really wasn't.
Yeah. I mean,
And at the end of the day, it was when you're seasickness is a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah.
And you're sick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And there's
really
nothing
are.
you really are. It's a horrible. I've been seasick this season, and there's nothing fun about it. But I think overall, I think you've got your learning curve was huge, just
Yes.
tremendous, like absolutely eye-opening, tremendous.
Yeah.
So.
And if you're even thinking about buying a boat, I mean, this would be my advice. If you're even thinking about buying a boat or doing any kind of research, serious research, something like this is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And then also, you can say that this is a little hobby of yours, and now you made a little money off your little hobby.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm
true.
saying? So it's not a lot of money, but it's everything little.
It's money.
You got paid. Today you probably had one of the best boat rides of your entire life, and you got paid.
Yep.
How sexy is that?
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Anyway, guys, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Let me know what you have to bring to the table in the comments down below. You can reach out to me privately. You can contact me through Crypto Pirate on Facebook. That's where I'm at on Facebook, and then just message me or leave the comments, and I'll get you my phone number. You can go to Captain's Choice and get my phone number off the board
The
there.
website.
Yeah. Anyway, peace out. Remember, live life with no regret. I do. And thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Bye.